everyone. In this video we are going to see how to build a responsive website. That means a website which can change according to the display device. So whatever we learned in this chapter on responsive web design, we are going to apply that in this project. So our previous project was like this. It was like this. So without, I have changed the image, that's not a problem, but other than this image, but if you see how it was for different display devices, you can see. So in mobile device, like you have to use the horizontal scroll bar to look at the content, and you can see this is for the tablet display and this is for the PC display. So this is a non-responsive website. So it's not a device-friendly website. We are going to change this website as a device-friendly website like this. So it is in a PC display mode, and you can see it is in two-column layout in PC display. And when I change to tablet display, now it comes to single column with horizontal navigation. And when I move to mobile display, you can see there is more space for each navigation link to facilitate the mobile operation functionality for the navigation. So this is how the responsive website will look like. So now we are going to see how to change this non-responsive website to this kind of responsive website. Okay, so let's start from the index.html. Okay, so the thing is like if you look at the index.html for this file, which is the continuation of the previous practice, if you refer, you can see we have kept this image folder. So actually all those images what we see here are from the image tag. As a HTML element, we have included images in all the 3 pages. So the important concept of one web is you should not change the HTML. You have to use the same HTML for all 3 display designs. Okay, so if you want to, for example, most of the mobile web designs for this content, for this design we have the image, but most of the mobile web design in real time they will avoid this kind of images to save some space. Okay, so when we need to avoid images in mobile display size, and when we can keep the images in PC or tablet display, so that should be possible. How it could be possible if we use this image tag to implement images, because if you remove it for the mobile display, then you cannot show it in PC or tablet display, right? So first thing that we have to do is we have to delete this image tags. Okay, so we have to implement the images as a background image. Okay, so by using CSS we have to implement images. So we have to delete all those images from image tag, through the image tags, and we have to implement through the background CSS property. So I'm going to go to all 3 pages and deleting the image tags so that I can implement it by using background property. So in fitness, okay, so I have removed all the image tags, and now you can see I have this ID in all my pages. You can see here food image and home image and then fitness image. So all of them are IDs. So if I go to my CSS, I can see the IDs here: home image, food image, fitness image. So here where I have to include this background CSS. So if you refer the website, you can see this is where we have all these things. I have deleted all the images. So if you see And then I'm opening the style.css to change the background image, to change the property of the background image. So I have modified these images so that I can have the standard size images for all the pages. To do that, I have selected some images and I have included it in the folder. So you can see I have these 3 images to keep in my home page, food page and fitness page. So I prefer it to be the wide image with more height, around more than 1000 pixel height, width, and around 4 to 500 pixel height, so that it can accommodate my the design that I have selected. Okay, so now I'm going to change this. I'm going to include this images in the background images. So 1, 2, 3, those are the image names that I'm just going to include that images accordingly. The second food page is going to have this 2.jfif image, and the third fitness page is going to have 3.jfif image. Okay, so let me check how it works. Save, and if I refresh the page, so this is what I have. So I have just removed that the previous image, and I have included this image, home, food, fitness. Okay, so now let's start with the other design aspects. So first thing that we are going to do is, if you refer the media query, what we have done. So the media query, through media query, we are going to inform browser that what design have to be picked for what kind of display size. So we are going to implement it through the media query. So what we are going to do, this base design we are going to change so that it will display the website for mobile site like this. So our base website, the base design is going to display like this, that is single column layout and single navigation, like black level element. Okay, all the navigation. So this is how we want to design our base CSS. So the base CSS is going to display in that way. For that, the first thing that we have to do is we have to remove all the float elements. So let's remove all the float elements that we can see. So I'm just going to find where and all we have float. So we have float here. I'm deleting it, and then find all. So I have float here. So I have float only in two places. I have floated in navigation, and then I have floated nothing. So I have deleted all the float related thing. So the next thing that we have to delete is left margin. Okay, so to accommodate the design, if you refer our previous website, we have this floating of these things. Okay, so we have to delete this left margin 180 pixel so that we can bring it to single column layout. So first we have to find out where we have this margin left property. Okay, so margin left. Find all. So we have here delete. So like that, delete all the margin left properties. so that it will not take that 2-column layout. So we have deleted the float, and then we have deleted the margin left property, and then remove all the width declaration. So for that, so here we have max width and min width. So let's remove the width so that it will not take unnecessary space for different element, as we are going to follow the single column layout. So wherever we have width, just remove it, all the width properties, to configure the mobile display. So we have the width for navigation, because the navigation was used to be the double column layout. So let's remove that navigation width. And the section, so in the food and fitness page we have 3-column section. So actually we need to remove all those sections. The reason is, if you can see, so you can see this in fitness and food page we have this 3-column layout. Okay, so but in our target design you can see, for the mobile display we should remove that 2-column layout, 3-column layout to single column layout like this. So this is the section area that we have configured before. So we have to remove that section area in order to bring that single column layout. So since we are working on the base design, let's remove all all the section area together. So let's completely remove that. So just I will delete the width property, not the max width and min width property. Let me keep that, and I'm just going to focus on the navigation first. So I'm just going to delete the width of the navigation area, and also I'm going to delete set the padding to 1 from 1.em to 0. So why we are doing it? If you recall, this is what we are aiming for, right? So this is what we are aiming for. So we don't have any padding, top padding here. So to achieve this, we have to set the navigation to 0. Padding navigation should be 0. So that we have done here with the navigation 0. So the next thing, edit the styles for the cover ID. So here we have to remove this. So what is this area? Actually this one is, the wrapper ID is whole body element selector, including this image, including everything. Okay, so that's what we have configured. If you check, you can see it is the div ID covering the whole body tag, this one. So now we are going to customize that component, the width component. So first thing, we have to remove the width. So we have removed the width in our previous so already we have removed all the width properties, and also we have to remove the minimum width and maximum width properties, and then we have to remove the margin. Okay, and then we have to remove the border, or we'll keep the border, and if needed we can remove it later. Let's keep the border and box shadow property and see how it looks. Save. Refresh the page. So you can see this is how it looks like. So if you want to delete the border, you can delete it, box shadow. So maybe let's delete the box shadow, but let's keep the border. Okay, so now the website will look like this. Okay, yeah, with the border but without box shadow. So the next thing that we are going to do is code we need this kind of design, right? So for that we have to get all this, we have to work on this nav li element tag, and we have to have the bottom border for this what is this, nav li, right? So we have to include that border bottom, and then we have to centralize this content. Okay, that's what we have to do. So let's do that. Nav li element selector. Let's see whether we have nav li selector. So we don't have, so let's include that here after nav ul. Let's include nav li, and then we need to have that bottom border, right? So bottom border of some value. So I have picked that from our color pattern. Okay, so this is the color pattern that we want. So this color pattern is this value, this color value that I have already selected. So 1 pixel bottom, 1 pixel border, solid, and this color. So let's save this and see whether we have included it here. So we can see we have included it here, and then we have to centralize this content, right? So to centralize the content, we have to have this text align center in nav. Okay, so let's include that text align center. Save and refresh the screen. So you can see we have brought that. So next thing that we have to check is the header area. If you see, it occupies our current, maybe I'll keep this here, and this is our reference. So if you refer the reference, you can see we have reduced the height here because to accommodate the mobile site. So how can we reduce the height? So if you check the header area, you can see this line height 500%. So just delete that code, save and refresh the screen. Now you can see we have reduced that line height. It looks like this. So final thing that we are going to do, so you can see everything looks good. Home page, but except this food and fitness page, since we have set this section, since we have all the section area, it doesn't look good, but the home page looks good. So to customize that section page, all we need to do is remove that section area from your CSS. So you can see we have the section area. The width is 30%, 33%. That's why it is skewed there. So let's save this and refresh the screen, and if you refer now, since we have removed that width 33%, it looks good as of your target design. So now we have achieved our target design for the mobile display. Okay, so this is our target file. So you can see we have achieved the target, say, except this background size. Let's fix the background size, background customization, but other than that the page looks good. Now let's move on to the tablet size. Okay, so this is how our tablet size, we want to customize our tablet size design. Okay, so the black level is going to be inline black level element. Okay, and then the single column layout, everything looks good. The main change is this one, the navigation, and also we are bringing back that 3 section area in food and fitness page. Okay, but right now we don't have that option here. Okay, so we have to change this navigation, and also we have to make this to 3 column layout. That's our main target for medium size display. So to do this medium size display, what you have to do, first thing, you have to set media at media. How you can do the media query? At media minimum width 600 pixel. So which means all the designs, all the devices which has the 600 pixel width will carry this property. First thing that we are going to do is navigation. Okay, so navigation UL, that's our main focus. From this to this, the main focus is going to be this navigation. So in our target website, we want to have this kind of thing, right? So let's focus on that. So for that you have to say nav ul. If you recall, we learned display flex, so we are going to use the flex property to do this. So to include flex property, first thing that you have to include is display flex, and then we are going to say flex flow. If you recall, flex flow is the shorthand notation of the flex, wrap and flex direction property. So we are going to focus on row wise. So we are going to change the nav to like a row wise design. So for that we are saying row and no wrap. So we are going to change the vertical navigation to horizontal navigation without wrapping. And then we want some space around this. Let's save and refresh the screen and see how it looks like. So you can see we have changed that to one column, one row layout. Now we have to customize this area. So for that we are going to use justify content. Okay, so justify content, and we need space around. So that means space around value will leave equal amount of space between the elements and also in the edge element. So that's how we want it to be. Okay, now we have brought this, and we have to remove this underline, bottom underline. For that we have to go to nav li property, because in nav li only we have included that bottom border. So we have to remove that. Border bottom should be none. Save and refresh the page. You can see we have included that. And then we have to bring back that section. So whatever we have deleted with the section, we have to bring it back. So so this is the thing that we have deleted previously, the section, padding left, padding right. So we have to bring it back. So we have to change some other content to bring it back. And then we are going to add one more class to deal with the section. So go to the index.html and there create one more class to handle this section area. So in the food and HTML element where we have section, so we have the section area in food and HTML element. There inside the body, create a class to handle the section. So I have created a class called SEC. So it's the property of body class. So do the same thing with the fitness page as well. Create a separate class to handle that section area. So I'm just creating SEC class. Now let's customize that area here. So the main content in the section is going to have some property because we are going to apply grid there. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to apply grid to handle this area in food and fitness. So for that we need to create a grid property. So dot SEC and main, we are going to apply display grid. So when we need to apply grid, we have to first include display grid. And then we have to bring this auto thing, the layout, the row and column should be auto. For that we are going to say grid row template, grid template rows. Is going to be auto, and grid template columns is going to take the equal size whatever is available. Okay, equal number of sections. The sections, 3 sections should take equal number of space. So let's customize that, and then let's check how we are doing here. So still we have to do some more changes. And then H2 area. So now we are going to customize the grid. Okay. So this grid is applicable to all the main area, all the body element selected. So now by using if you recall, the grid row and grid column is the simplest way to customize. So what we are going to say is this header H2 is going to have one row, is going to take one row, and then this section is going to take, so 1 and 2 is going to be for this and the section is going to take 3 columns. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So for each column we have to customize it. So let's start from H2. So the H2 is going to be grid row. So actually our main body starts from here, okay, not from here, from here only, from H2 only. So this is going to be line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So let's start from grid row line 1. So 1 by 2, and then grid column, it is going to take all the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 columns is going to be there. So 5 columns, 1 to 5. It is going to take all the columns, and then the section area is going to take grid row of starting from 2 to 3. Okay, so 2 to 3, and then grid column auto, because we have set it like that, grid column auto. So whatever is available, based on that it will take. If there are 4 columns, then 4 sections, then 4 columns will be created. Since we have 3 sections, 3 columns will get created. And then we are going to create one more ID here for our future use. Let's say special ID, or you can hold on this line and do it later. Since I know what I'm going to do in the next chapter, I'm creating one more ID for the future use. So that is going to be auto, and grid column for that is all the 5 columns. This is for table that we are going to use in the next section. And then the footer area is also going to take whatever available, or you can say 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, that too works. Grid column, this is going to take all the 5 columns, all the 4 columns. Grid column 1 to 5, and then this. So with this change, if we save this and refresh the page, we can see we have brought that 3 column layout back. So this is for tablet display. Okay, so this works, but our target for PC display is going to bring the 2 column layout. So, or we can say 4 column layout, including this column 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be 5 lines. Okay, so if you check right now, this looks like this, and we have to bring that navigation from horizontal to vertical. So let's work on that. So go to the Autumn IDE text editor. Now let's look at the code and see what we can do for the PC layout. Okay, first thing that we have to do is media query. So mostly for the PC layout, the minimum size will be 1024 pixel. That we have to change, and then we have to change our horizontal navigation to vertical navigation. So that's the first thing that we have to do. So we can use the same thing, but instead of we have to say flex flow column. By default it is no wrap, so we don't need to specify that. And then we have to say justify content is not needed here. So let's save this and see how it looks like. So we have converted that flex layout with this, and then let's say some padding here. Okay, so padding top, we want some 1.5 or 1 em. Now we have to say the nav should be text in the left aligned. So it is right now it is center, so we have to convert that to text aligned left. Okay, so that we want to have this kind of look. Okay, left aligned look. Right now it is centered, so we have to change to text aligned left. And then we have to say padding, some padding in the left. Save and refresh the screen, so you can see this is what we want to do. We did it. So the next thing, we have to focus on that cover area. So that means this area. What is our cover area? The main whole content. If you look at the index.html, this is the whole ID. So we have to work on that cover ID. Okay, so if you see here, this is what we have. So we have to do some modification here. We have to bring back whatever we have deleted from that cover ID in our previous display. Okay, so for that we have to do cover, and what are the things that we have deleted? I'm just going to bring all those things back, including the border, box, shadow, margin auto with 80%. So these are the things that we have deleted from the previous mode. So since we want to bring all those things back in the PC mode, we are bringing that margin, width, border, box, shadow, everything. And then display, here we want to say display grid property that is applicable for. So whatever we have set with the grid template column, so let's say grid template columns. So we want to set that navigation area as 180 pixel, and then auto. The remaining area will be automatically set. And then for the rows, we want to say grid template rows, which is going to be auto based on the display size. Okay, so these are the things that we want to set for cover. So the remaining thing, let's save this and refresh the screen. So you can see, if I refresh the screen, this is how it looks like. Okay, we have set up the auto column layout. So we have brought that vertical navigation, but even the header is also in the vertical navigation since we have set it as auto. So now let's fix that things. So first thing, we have to set up the header area. So the header is going to be grid row. So we want to have the first row for the header. So to say that, the line number 1 and 2 is for the header, and in terms of column, we have 4 columns, so there are 5 lines, right? So grid column, sorry, in the header area it is going to be 3 columns. Save, and if you refresh the screen, this is how it looks like. So let's fix it. So next thing that we have to do is the navigation should go to the second row. Okay, so that means from the line 2, and the rows should be all 3 rows. If you see, The rows, it is going to take 1, 2. So leaving that, starting from 2, it is going to take the second row, third row, fourth row. So starting from line 2 to 5, it is going to take all the rows. So grid row is going to take all the rows 2 to 5. And in column wise, it is just going to take the first column. So how can we say that? 1 by 2. Save and refresh the screen. Now we can see it is taking all the available columns. So let's keep moving. If we do the other elements, it will look good. So next thing we are going to do, the div area, that is the ID area, it is going to take the 2 to 3 column, 2 to 3 rows, and then the column wise it is going to take the second column, that means 2 by 3 line number. Save and refresh the screen. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So let's keep moving. And the main area we have to focus. The main area is going to take, the row wise it is going to take, what is that main area? If you look at that here, you can see the main area is this area. It is going to take, the row wise it is going to take 3 and 4, and the column wise, this is the first column and this is the second column. So it is going to take the second column. So 3 by 4 and grid column 2 by 3. Save and refresh the screen. Okay, we're almost there. And the footer area wise, we don't want this footer to be like this. We want the footer to take only the second column. Now it is taking the both first column and second column. So let's customize that. Footer area, so we want it to take only the last row, that is 4 by 5 line number, and column wise the second column, not all the 2 columns, so the second column. Save. And if we refresh the page, you can see. Now this is how we want it to be. The fitness page and the food page and home page. So this is our target. Actually, this is our target. We have reached the responsive website. Let's check the responsiveness now. So this is how it looks like for the PC display, and then now for the tablet display, horizontal navigation, and for the mobile display we can see the inline, so the black level navigation. Okay, so we have achieved the responsiveness by applying the flex, display and all the properties. Okay, see you in the next video. Thank you.